All right, Baby Groot's back at the request of no one. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be checking out The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 6, or Chapter 22. Very excited about this one. I know there's been so much discourse, and I'm pretty sure I opened last week's video with this exact same statement, but I am seeing the continuous discourse in the fandom grow and grow every single week about what's going on with this show, what people actually think about this show. Personally, I'm loving this season so far. Do I think it's better than season 2? No. Do I think it's better than season 1? In ways, but I also think that narratively, seasons 1 and season 2 have the jump on this because there hasn't been an overall story. But at the same time, I'm taking it for what it is. We're getting to see more Mandalorian stuff. We got to find out who rescued Grogu. We got to see the conclusion to that, which I actually don't think we've seen the conclusion to that. I think we're going to get more stuff with Ahmed Best's character, but I feel like we've gotten a good bit this season. But I also understand the complaint that we really haven't gone anywhere, because when you think about it, we really haven't. We've just kind of gotten past revelations confirmed. Right now, we haven't really gone anywhere forward, and I think we're going to see that push tonight. But a lot of people are arguing it's a little bit too late. If there were 12 episodes in this season, I would be completely fine with them starting the overall plot tonight. But since there's only 3 episodes left, I'm kind of starting to hop onto that bandwagon that the story really hasn't gone anywhere. Because like I said, when you think about it, it really hasn't. And I can make up excuses of how much I loved it all day and I like this and that, so that makes up for this. It really doesn't. The story really hasn't gone anywhere. That doesn't change the fact that I'm really loving this season so far. But just narratively, it's probably the weakest season so far. But like I said, I think this episode is going to really get the ball rolling going into Ahsoka, because I mean, we got the Zeb tease last week. Dave Filoni's tease that other Ghost members or Ghost crew members are going to show up in this series, or at least in this season. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do. Obviously, Bo's gone out on a mission now to try and reunite all Mandalorians under one. So that's going to be very, very interesting to see. I think she's going to find conflict in all of that, as there usually is with Mandalorians. But I'm excited as to who we could possibly see. I mean, we could see Sabine, we could see Fen Rao from Rebels. So all of that has me very, very excited. But obviously, I'm not going to get my hopes up. I do think we are going to see Sabine in this season, though. I think it makes sense going into Ahsoka, and I do think that show's going to be fire. If you guys have seen or heard any of the leaks, oh, I'm gonna have to wear the white pants for that reaction.
This guy's got the right idea. He wore the brown pants.
But jokes aside, I'm super excited about this episode. But before we get started, I just want to say, if you guys are new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button, like button, turning on post notifications. Whatever you guys want to do to support the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you guys want to see the full-length version of this reaction or any other reaction that I have up on the channel, you guys will find it right here on YouTube on my membership page. So if you guys could check that out as well, I would greatly appreciate it. So without further ado, I'm super excited. So let's go.
1 hour later.
Yeah, I'm not editing a reaction for this. I'm not. No, I'm not sitting here for 3 hours rewatching this episode on repeat to edit a reaction. No, I can't do it. I will lose my mind. All right, so let me sit up so I look a little more proper here. Yes, this episode was steaming hot garbage. I have defended this season up until this point. There's no defending it now. Unless the last 2 episodes are great. Even if the last 2 episodes are fantastic, like peak Star Wars, it can't save this season. Like I said, I haven't hated this season. I've actually really enjoyed it. Even loved some moments of this season. But good God, I have jumped on the narrative that this season has gone absolutely nowhere, because it has gone nowhere. What we thought was the plot of this season ended after episode 2, in episode 2, and then we jumped to Pershing. That stuff had my attention, but it didn't go anywhere. And then episode 4, we get the stuff with Ahmed Best's character, Keller and Beck, saving Grogu. That whole flashback made the episode. The rest of it was kind of like, whatever, we got some cool action, but they waited a whole day to go save a kid. And then last week's episode, I actually really liked. I don't really have any problems with last week's episode at all. I thought they kind of set up for what we thought we were going to get in this episode, but that didn't happen. This whole episode is filler, except the last 4.5 minutes. Literally, it is 4.5 minutes from whenever they meet the Mandalorians at the end, Axe Woves, Koska Reeves, and all the other Death Watch members, it seems, up until the credits roll. That is 4.5 minutes. The first 36 minutes of this episode is complete filler, and garbage. I'm like just so infuriated right now about this episode. I know I shouldn't be getting this mad about Star Wars, and if you guys like this episode, that's cool. It just wasn't for me, and it didn't feel like Star Wars at all. It felt like Disney was parodying Star Wars. I've gotten some comments comparing this season to like the silliness of Book of Boba Fett, and I didn't really see it up until this episode. Like, it's just so silly. Like, just saying, like, it's so Disneyfied. Like, why can't we get serious, dark Star Wars in the tone of Andor, but like with the Mandalorian? Why? Like, what is holding them back from doing that? Like, I get it's a family show, or at least more family than any other Star Wars show, but I don't know, dude. I just I really hated this episode, like, a lot. I'm just gonna start at the beginning, and we're kind of gonna graze through this episode. What was this beginning with the Quarren and the Mon Calamari thing? She said it was like her somebody's son that she was having an affair with. Like, what? Like, I don't care. And it was just weird. And like, it had nothing to do with the rest of the episode. Like, that's where we chose to start this episode? And then like, we glossed over that opening scene, and I was like, okay, maybe it'll pick up. Hopefully it'll pick up. No. Like, this planet in the beginning, I thought we were going to Concordia, like another planet in the Mandalore system. And like, the whole mystery of them kind of like just being taken by like this train car to who knows, that kind of was intriguing at first. I was a little bit confused, but okay. And then we meet Jack Black and Lizzo as a king and queen of some peaceful place, and Christopher Lloyd is the corrupt security guard who is implanting nanobots into droids to make them do things that the Separatists used to do, and he praises Count Dooku, and that's it. That's what happens in 35 minutes. I just described the whole thing in 30 seconds. Like, why was this 35 minutes? Or at least that subplot. Why was it that long? Like, if it was the first 15 minutes, sure. Like, okay, whatever. I could have gotten past that. But we made it the whole episode. And then the last 4 minutes was good. Like, sorry for clickbaiting you guys. April Fools. You're not getting the reaction, but I am going to give you with the full-length reaction if you really want to watch this episode full-length. I don't know why you would, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. So it should be popping up somewhere right here. It should be linked at the end, maybe linked in the beginning if you guys want to go check it out. I hated this episode so much. It's like, it didn't feel like Star Wars at all. Not like, even with the droids were cool, but like, it was such a terrible episode. Like, I don't know what they're doing. I'm really starting to lose faith in Jon Favreau as a writer. I'm going to be completely honest here. Cause like, the weaker stuff from this season has been written by him and him alone, which is like concerning. Or him and another person. I think the last episode was written by him and somebody from Book of Boba Fett, but I actually liked last week's episode, so I really have no complaints there. Episode 4, him and Dave Filoni did that. I think he did episode 3, the one with Pershing. I could be wrong. You guys are gonna have to fact check me on that. But I'm just starting to lose faith in him as a TV writer, because I don't think he knows how to write TV very well, or at least form the show in a more interesting way. But he wrote seasons 1 and 2 like almost entirely, right? I just don't know why this feels so disconnected, and this could have to do with the rumors of Disney and Kathleen Kennedy interfering with this season a lot. I'm really starting to believe those reports, because it just seems this season feels so disconnected from the other two. And even Book of Boba Fett, like, Book of Boba Fett, I actually liked a lot more than most people did. There were some silly elements like the Vespa stuff, like what? And I even saw the Vespas in the background just repainted white. Um, and some of the sets just looked so cheap. Like Lizzo's costume looked so cheap. It looked so cheap, and I think they did a pretty good job in this episode. I actually liked seeing them hit her and Jack Black. I didn't mind that, but it took me out of the episode because they weren't given really anything to do. They were kind of just playing like a prince and princess or a king and queen or whatever they were, lord and lady. It felt so weird. Like it didn't feel right. And I'm honestly glad I don't have to stay up and edit this now. I can edit my Avatar reaction for you guys, or at least finish that up so that I can have that out on time. But I apologize for clickbaiting. You guys aren't getting the reaction, but you're going to get the full one. Like I said, I'll link it somewhere. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode more than I did. This is probably going to be a very weirdly edited rant because I was kind of all over the place. I was really just taking out my frustrations on this episode in this video. So hopefully you guys did enjoy much more than I did. If you guys did, please consider hitting that subscribe button, like button, turning on post notifications. Whatever you guys want to do to support the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you guys want to see the full-length version of any of the other reactions I have up on the channel, like I said, this one will be free for you guys. I'm not editing this. But if you guys want to see any of the other reactions that I have up on the channel full length, that is, you guys will find it right here on YouTube on my membership page. So if you guys can check that out as well, I would greatly appreciate it. So hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you all in the next one.